Welcome back on a Football Monday presented by your local Honda dealer. It's Cakes, EB, and JP. Joining us right now, like he does every Monday at this time, is Commanders Pro Bowl defensive lineman Jonathan Allen. He's presented by Main Street Bank. Cheer local, bank local. Put their team in your office. Visit mstreetbank.com for more information. And Jonathan, we played a clip of you after the game. You're not happy, and we understand why. What do you think's going on with this defense?
Oh, man, if it was an easy answer, we would have it fixed. But, I think we just need to get back to the basics as far as players taking accountability first and foremost. I think everyone's going to be looking for an easy way out, a quick way to fix a solution overnight. But I think let's just get back to the basics. Let's go back, look at the film. Let's see where we can improve, and let's get back to doing the little things right. You know what I mean? Fundamentally sound football, and I think that's the first step we're going to take this week.
What are teams doing anything differently to you? Like, what's happening?
Well, in the NFL, the one thing about defense is any plays that you struggle with, you're going to see them again. So all the plays that we've been struggling with so far, teams are repeating them. So we have to get better at the things that we're struggling with, and we'll do that. But we can't let big plays become big explosive touchdowns. And I think that's one step that we have to we got to get improvement with. I mean, big plays are going to happen, but you can't let those big plays compound. You can't let the dam break. In sense. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely struggling. It's definitely tough. We're struggling right now, but we're going to improve.
Is there one thing that you've noticed about your game? You're like, I've got to do better at this. I've got to do better at this next time we're on the field against Atlanta.
Next time we're on the field against Atlanta, I don't think there's one thing I can point at specifically, because there's a lot of things I feel like I need to improve. I need to play with more energy, more effort, better technique, go back to the fundamentals. I mean, again, this isn't just a solution where it's like, hey, if we fix this one thing, we're going to be perfect. Like, that's not football. That's not life. So for me, I'm just trying to go back to the basics, focus on what I do well. And yeah.
How much of it is just like communication? Make sure you guys are all on the same page every time.
I think that's a part of it. I definitely think that's a part of it. Again, you guys are going to hear me say it's a bunch of little things. You know what I mean? It's not just guys not giving effort, guys not wanting to, guys not trying. It's the little things that are culminating in us not playing successful defense right now.
Can you John, can you explain to us? So we've had like guys come in here before, like quarterbacks, and they do their play calls or whatever, and it's kind of fascinating to hear. Defensively, though, I don't think I've ever really heard a play call. Like, what kind of communication? Can you give me an example? I know you don't call the plays, right? Is
no,
Cody Barton call the plays? And then
yeah, Cody does.
So Cody calls the play, and then do you have to then communicate with like the guys next to you, or no?
Yeah, you definitely do. So let's just say if they come out in I far, we're going to run a pick game to the right and a text game to the left. But if they come out in I near, we're going to flip it. So depending on what the offense comes out, you have two different calls you got to make. And that's just for the D line, which is easy. On the DBs, you have calls and then they motion, and you got to check. You got to make sure all four guys. So it's a lot of communication. It's not just guys like, oh, sorry, I didn't hear the call. It's a very complicated process to put yourself in the right situation to win games. And, it's going to take time for guys in the back end to get that camaraderie to where you can look and you can make communication without having to verbally say it. And, again, that's not me making excuses. That's just one of the intricacies of football. And, we got to be better in that situation.
Talking to Jonathan Allen, Commanders defensive tackle, something that we talked about with our listeners, a lot of people wondering whether a fiery head coach would make a difference. They see Ron kind of on the sideline folding his arms. He's not calling the defensive plays. He's not calling the offensive plays. Does that make a difference? And it probably depends on the player. A more fiery coach. And at halftime, he said he didn't even talk to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy when you're not a part of it to say, we need this, we need that. I know for me personally, I'm very motivated in what I do. I've played for Coach Saban, one of the most fiery coaches of all time. And I pride myself on being a very self-motivated person. Obviously, when things aren't going good, people want to see the passion. They want to see that we care. And one thing I can guarantee without a shadow of a doubt is we care. And obviously this one hurts for the fans. It hurts for the players and the coaches as well. And we're doing everything that we can to improve and be better for the next game. So I understand the frustration, not calling anybody out, not blaming anybody. But I promise you, this isn't going to continue.
Jonathan, who were the guys that were speaking in halftime if Ron wasn't addressing the team? Was it like one guy getting up in front of the whole room and speaking, or was it just guys like at their lockers and their stalls talking amongst each other?
Chase and Del Rio, and we talked to they talked to the defense, and then Jamie Reeves. I don't know what's going on with his injury or whatever happened, but he talked to the team, and it was some good stuff. It was some good stuff. Again, we have a game like you did last Thursday, there's going to be a lot of blame to throw around. But as a team right now, what we have to do is circle the wagons. Even though we have not played the last 3 games like we wanted to, we're still 2-3. We still have everything in front of us, and we just have to get back to the grind. We have to break things down, go back to simplifying things, and we just have to play better football. And that's what it comes down to.
What about the idea that so everyone knows like the heart and soul of the team is this D-line, right? That's where a lot of the investment is. And Jack relies on you guys, but, they pay the other guys too. And they got first-round picks on the other side too. And, sometimes it's almost like I feel like it's asking you guys to do too much. What about fans want to see sometimes just more pressure, bring extra guys, rush Jamin, use his athleticism. How do you feel about that? I know you feel like we should be able to win this on our own because we're the studs, but I feel like you guys need some help.
Yeah, no, I mean, as the D-line on the team, we pride ourselves on being able to take the pill. And when I say the pill, is every single play on defense, someone's going to have the pill. Someone's going to have the hard job, the job that's, is probably not fair. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But every play somebody has it. So we want the pill to stop on us. But at the end of the day, something's got to change. So I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that the D-line is going to continue to work. Teams are getting creative with how they're trying to effectively stop us. And as players, we have to be able to fight through that and be better.
So really the last 3 games, you faced quarterbacks that can run. They're a little bit different. Josh Allen, maybe more physical. Jalen Hurts as well. Justin Fields, he's not a small guy, but he's not as physical as, say, Josh Allen.
Jonathan that threw him down?
Fields down.
Yeah.
What do you guys see if you've started looking in Desmond Ridder? Had a pretty good game yesterday, led them on a comeback drive.
He's an athletic guy who can throw the ball. He's going to be a good player. When I look at this defense, we'll play good on first and second down, and then on third and long, we let them. We got to be better on third down. And I feel like that's the biggest area of improvement that we got to be better at, You look at that Bills game, we're getting teams to third down and 8, third down and 9, but we're letting them convert. We can't let teams consistently convert that. And obviously that starts up front with the D-line. So that's one area that I want to see us as a defensive line and defense improve. We got to be better on third down.
How do you get to the quarterback better? Like at times you're getting there, and we were talking about Chase in particular. Statistically, he had 11 quarterback pressures, but it didn't result in that many sacks against the Bears.
Yeah, sacks are one of the things that it is a very, very tricky stat. You know what I mean? Because I'm a firm believer of sacks are situational. Mm-hmm. And when I say that is, if I beat my guy like Chase did all game, but only come away with a half a sack, does that mean I didn't rush the pass well? Or if I get no pass rush, but I fall into 2 sacks, does that mean I pass rush well the entire game? So it's not really something you can just look at sacks and be like, he had a good game. Now, obviously, if you go out there and you have 5 or 6 sacks, you had a good game. And I'm not saying that you can't do that. But sacks are one of those stats that can mislead you if you're not watching the game and you're watching all 22 and you know what's going on. So, Chase played a great game. The sacks weren't there, but he still had a presence and affected the quarterback tremendously.
Is it just that you're not able, for whatever reason, to get everybody to get, like, one guy has a good play, the other 3 aren't? Like, is it just not coming together as a unit?
No, I want to say that. If you go and look at the tape, there's a lot of chippers. Offenses are doing a lot of things to slow us down, and rightfully so. I would do the same thing too. For whatever reason, it's just, hey, it's one play. Chase is going to make the play. I'm going to make the play. We got to do a better job of corralling him. And when one guy miss, make sure we have multiple guys there to, get him down.
What's it like when you're reviewing film? When you go through the film, is Jack the one that goes through it with you, or is it your position coach?
Both. We start off with Coach Del Rio, and then after we, get the overarching emphasis, we get into the weeds with our defensive line coach.
Right.
And then from there, break down, see what we can do to improve, try to implement the improvements in the following week, and, go from there.
What do you make of Sam's resiliency? I thought he came back and really, showed some moxie.
When we talk about Sam Howell, man, I mean, this is what I expect. I mean, again, we go back to his demeanor, even kill, cool, calm, and collected. The moment never seems too big for him. At halftime, hey, we already know what he's going to do. Defense, we got to go out there and give him stops and get him the opportunity to put some points on the board. So, I mean, Sam Howell's our guy. I mean, we believe in him, we trust in him, and we're excited. We really are.
You know who else is a tough dude on offense is Logan Thomas. I mean, some of the hits that he's taken this year, battling through the calf injury that kept him sidelined through a lot of training camp and through the preseason. I mean, he's getting hit in the head like every other game and concussed. I mean, that dude is tough, and he's being rewarded with a lot of looks from Sam on offense.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're seeing a guy who's really laying it all out on the line. And the thing about this team is there's no quitting us. Obviously, it's frustrating right now. You want to come out that game with the win. But I'm telling you, once this thing gets rolling, it's going to get rolling. So we just got to make sure we're doing the little things right. And when this thing pops, we're going to be ready.
All right, we're talking to Jonathan Allen, Pro Bowl defensive tackle for the Washington Commanders. You're 2-3. You've got the Falcons next. Tell us what you see from that team offensively. They draft Bijan Robinson. They have Algier, who ran for over 1,000 yards last year. Drake London, Kyle Pitts. They've got some weapons.
Yeah, no. We haven't watched this film yet, but from what I've seen, I'm just like, all right, we got to make sure we contain Bijan Robinson. He's the real deal. They got London, they got Pitts, they got guys all around the office that can make weapons. Our job is to make the quarterback uncomfortable and put him in situations he doesn't want to be in, third and long, second and long. So as a defensive line, we got to stop. We got to be able to stop the run with a light box, and we got to be able to affect the quarterback, especially interior lead, so we can't step up and allows our ends to attack the edges and cause havoc.
John, as a D tackle, do you prefer to face a team like Atlanta that's top 7 in the league in rush attempts with 149, or would you rather face a team that's going to drop back and pass a ton so you get a chance to go after the quarterback? Which do you prefer personally?
To be honest, it really doesn't. Matter to me. It doesn't really bother me. I love playing the run. I just love playing football. So.
Do you get more pleasure? Do you get more pleasure like stuffing a run a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage, or sacking a quarterback?
Well, I mean, definitely sacking a quarterback because I think I played like 850 snaps last year and finished with 7.5 sacks. So the percentage of you getting a sack on a play is very, very low.
Right.
So when you finally do get one, it is
feels good, satisfying.
It's a great feeling. Yeah.
Did you watch a game last night?
I did.
What did you think?
I think the Cowboys really hurt for missing Trayvon Diggs. I think the Cowboys offense showed potential, but they just weren't able to capitalize when they needed to. Turnovers, not being able to effectively run the ball. I think their center went down for a little bit. 49ers are one of those teams where if they get up on you, it's gonna be a snowball effect. I mean, they definitely look like the best team in the NFL right now. But, there's a lot of football left to be played, so we'll see. But the 49ers look like the real deal.
I'm wondering, you were a high draft pick. What do you make of a story of a guy who's the last pick in the draft leading a team like that and having 4 touchdown passes? Has he lost a game as a starter for the 49ers?
No, he hasn't lost yet, no.
Yeah.
I always tell people, man, like, everybody who is in the NFL has talent. Obviously, they want to be there. They didn't. Everybody in the NFL, they might not play good football at times, but they're a good football player. So then it comes down to fit. So when you look at the fit for San Fran, it is perfect for Brock Purdy to go out there, run the offense, and do what he has to do. And on top of that, him being the last overall pick in the draft. Actually, I'm not even going to go there. He's playing phenomenally. I mean, what do you want me to say? He's playing great. Any given day on a Sunday. It's the NFL, man. Everybody has talent, but he is – I'm not even going to bring up where he was drafted. He's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I think he deserves all the praise he's getting, and I enjoy watching him play.
Yeah, he's completed 73% of his passes. He hasn't thrown an interception this season. He's got all those weapons. I likened him to a point guard who's got a bunch of shooters that just got to spread it around.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, the one thing that you got to say is he's running Kyle Shanahan's offense, the 49ers offense, probably better than any quarterback they've had in a long time running it. So, man, you got to give him credit, man. You love his story. Everybody likes a good underdog story. And for him to be the last pick in the NFL draft and have the success that he's having, phenomenal, man. You love to see it.
Everybody except Trey Lance. He hates that underdog story. He hates its guts, actually.
Well, you know, I'm a firm believer of when someone gets theirs, they never get yours. So Trey Lance's story is not done as long as he continues to work. And it's definitely got to be a gut-punching feeling. But you know what? That's the NFL. You get punched in the gut commonly in the NFL. And the guys who can overcome it and make it past that and persevere will be able to be the guys who get to enjoy the fruits of their labor when the good times come. So you just got to stick with it. You never know what's going to happen in the league.
Well, look, you guys have lost 3 in a row. Stinks. But as you said, you're 2-3. If you right the ship against Atlanta, you're 500. Then you got the Giants. I know you don't want to say it. They look awful. You could get to 4-3 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. You know, one thing I know in the NFL is all it takes is one spark and to get your season turned around. So this is going to be a big game for us. We're looking forward to it. But again, I try to tell the guys we're 2-3. And we still have a lot of football and a lot of season ahead of us. Let's correct what we can, right the ship, and get back on track this Sunday.
I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just curious what your thought is. I know you said last week that it was a must-win against the Bears, right? And I agreed. I thought it was a must-win. Now here we go. We got another one. I think each one gets more important.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that makes the NFL so great, in my opinion, compared to other sports. Is each week you can look at it and say, this is a must-win. Mm-hmm. There's not 82 games. There's not 162 games. You get 17, and you never know which game is going to be the deciding factor for you winning the division, making the playoffs, or not making the playoffs. So each week you're going into it like, hey, I can't afford to miss. I can't afford to do this. We have to win. And that's what makes this game so great. And I'm looking forward to that challenge and this opportunity.
All right, John. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you, John.
Thanks.
That's Jonathan Allen, brought to you by Main Street Bank. Cheer local, bank local. Put their team in your office. Visit mstreetbank.com for more information. A frustrated Jonathan Allen as they have fallen to 2-3, but got the Falcons next. So, you're 500, and then you can start grasping again.